We welcome you into the Corn Crib here in Normal, Illinois as we're ready for Elmhurst Timothy Christian against Anna-Jonesboro Cobden in the 1A Boys Soccer State Championship game. As we take a look at how these teams got here for Anna-Jonesboro Cobden out of the sectionals for the first time in school history. They beat Althoff Catholic in the sectional final in overtime, then got past Beardstown 1-0 in the super sectional, and last night in the semifinal game beat Keith Country Day 1-0 as well. For Elmhurst Timothy Christian, they won the regional final, beating all Chicago teams on the way down to normal. They beat Chicago University in the sectional final and Chicago Latin in the super sectionals, then beat Urbana U-High in the semifinals 4-1, and that sets us up today for this championship match. Welcome you into the Corn Crib. Nathan Bliva alongside Brian Beto. And Brian, two teams with very different histories. Timothy Christian played in this title game last year. They're looking to use that experience here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Unable to win the game last year, but this year they get another chance. Anna-Jonesboro, on the other hand, this is the first time they've ever made the trip to state, so we should have a fun one, later today.
Take a look at our key players of the game, two prolific goal scorers. And for Elmhurst Timothy Christian, it's Jimmy Allen.
Yeah, Jimmy Allen's already set both the single season and career goals record for Elmhurst Timothy Christian. He's going to be all over the field tonight.
And on the other side for Anna-Jonesboro, Zach Parr, 46 goals. That's an insane number for a single season.
Yeah, had one in the state semi, had 45 prior to that, just shooting and connecting at 30% of his shots so far this year. So on the other end, you have Allen, you have Parr, so both of them should be back and forth all night.
They both scored in the semifinals. They're looking to get the ball in the back of the net in the state championship game as well. One of these two teams will take home that first place trophy today. We'll be back and take a look at the starting lineups after this on Chicago Comcast Sportsnet.
The IHSA is achievement, focus, creativity, spirit, champions. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
Welcome back to Normal and the Corn Crib as the team's getting introduced. The starting lineups today is Elmhurst Timothy Christian at 18-4, ready to take on Anna-Jonesboro Cobden at 25-1. We take a look at the starting lineups for today's contest as the Elmhurst team getting introduced first. Now we're on to Anna-Jonesboro. We take a look at Elmhurst Timothy Christian with Noah Moreira in goal. They'll have Matt Van Zleet, Alex Markowitz, Ben Lodowick, and Jackson Frankfurt in that back line. Michael Martins, Josh Anderson, Mitch Evenhouse, Brett Harbaugh-Clark, and Nathan Bauman in the midfield. And we already talked about Jimmy Allen up front. 34 goals on the season, including one in the state semifinal. Steven Fernandez, the head coach, as he is there standing close to the officials in his first year in an NA state championship tilt. On the Anna-Jonesboro side for their squad, dressed in white, we take a look at their starters. Jake Parr has played every minute of every game in goal so far this season. JT Moore, Sheldon McGrath, Dakota Earnhardt, and Garrett Nimmo on that back line with Jarrett Tripp, Ryan Stark, Elijah Haar, and John Russell in the midfield. And Jared Collier will join Zach Parr up front with Mark Boomer as their head coach. 92 wins. So there are the starting lineups. We'll be right back with the opening kickoff of the boys 1A State Soccer Championship on Comcast Sportsnet.
The IHSA is competition, teamwork, integrity, determination, triumph. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
Welcome back to the boys class 1A soccer state championship. Nathan Bliva and Brian Beto with you here at the Corn Crib in Normal, Illinois, ready for kickoff of this one. Elmhurst Timothy Christian in the red with the black stripes, while the Anna-Jonesboro squad wearing the home whites today, and the kickoff Brian will go to Timothy Christian. Unfinished business. They lost in the state title game last year.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's freezing down in the field right now. But you know those players, it's not cold for them, really. I mean, they've been playing their entire lives for this game. All those Saturday mornings growing up, traveling here and there, it all culminates right here.
They won the semis last year in penalty kicks 10-9 in the extra rounds of penalty kicks. They lost the state title game 2-0. They're looking for a quick start. And they've got the ball on that left wing. Do the Trojans right back into the middle, and the weather's going to play a factor today. It's rained all day long here in the Bloomington Normal area. It's rained hard off and on, but the rain could very well play a factor in this one, the wind as well.
Yeah, and these players lucky that it is turf on the field. So as bad as it is, it could be a lot worse if they were playing on a natural surface.
Don't have to worry about the mud, but the ball skipping off this turf could be a problem, especially for the goalkeepers. And there's two really good goalkeepers, Noah Morera for the Trojans, and Anna-Jonesboro's got Jake Parr back there. I mentioned in the starting lineups, he's played every minute of every game for the Wildcats this year.
Yeah, and he's already set a saves record for the school. Obviously, a pair of pars on this team, no pun intended. So they've really been the keys on both ends of the field this year.
Ball work backwards, and the Trojans try to get it started up. The Wildcats in their semifinal win had a couple of shaky moments earlier, especially off of set pieces in yesterday's victory over Keith Country Day out of Rockford, a couple corners, and very easily could have found themselves down in the first few minutes. McGrath cleared a ball off of the line that had beaten the goalie, but they were able to persevere and get through that first 10 minutes and ended up winning.
Yeah, and you and I were talking about that actually before the broadcast started, is that they got maybe a little fortunate early on, but they were able to take advantage of still being scoreless early on and be able to, like you said, persevere for the win.
Collier was bumped off the ball there, and now it's back. Control by Timothy Christian. They turn it. Nathan Bauman into the middle of the field, and it's knocked away. Timothy Christian lined up in more of the 4-5-1 for the Trojans with that one up front, but Bauman will support him from that attacking midfield role as they get back and play defense. Mitch Ebenhouse, who had 2 goals in the semifinal, knocked the Wildcat off the ball there, but it rolls out of bounds. It'll be a Wildcat throw-in over on that far sideline as we get a look at Garrett Nimmo. Nimmo and McGrath in the back line for the Wildcats are cousins, and they both had big plays in the semifinal game to prevent Keith Country down to Rockford from scoring.
Yeah, and they're going to need that more, especially with the firepower of Timothy Christian. We're going to see more of that again tonight.
On the throw-in, JT Moore, he'll take those long throws. He had the assist in the semifinal with a great cross from the right wing. And trying to break the ball through here. But Timothy Christian back on defense. Number 11, Zach Parr had that goal off of the feed from Moore. Timothy Christian on the attack, knocked away. And here comes Anna-Jonesboro again. Through ball, will not find anybody on the end of it and trickles out of bounds. So a second goal kick here for the Trojans.
Yeah, it was a nice quick counter and a good steal on the other end. Like you said, a good through ball, just no one on the other side. A good effort on the counter right there by the Wildcats.
Both of these teams had defenders that will push forward, get the ball into the box. It was more yesterday for Anna-Jonesboro getting the assist. Ben Lodowitz had 3 assists of the 4 goals from his defensive spot, and they both handle those long throw-ins as well.
Yeah, and Lodowitz has been a key contributor for that squad all season long and throughout his entire career. Had a goal and an assist to get them to the state semifinals, and then you mentioned a pair of assists yesterday as well in the semi. So even though he plays way back, they're not afraid to bring him forward and use him on the sidelines as well.
Here comes one of those long throw-ins now as JT Moore is going to run all the way down to the corner and right next to the corner flag for this long throw-in as he'll back up as far as he can onto the baseball warning track to get this throw in. Ends up playing it short. Heads it back in, and that shot deflected away. So, well, 4 minutes in and looking for our first actual shot on goal. A couple shots have been deflected before they've gotten through the box here thus far.
Yeah, Nathan, you mentioned the slower start for Anna-Jonesboro last night. That doesn't seem to be the case so far. They seem to be controlling the pace early on.
A long throw here for Lodowitz, and they will take control. Timothy Christian in the middle of the field. And they'll work it through, looking for the outside. Instead, it's deflected. On the outside with it now. Moving into the middle is Jimmy Allen, but he's dispossessed. And the Trojans will fight for possession near midfield, and they'll end up retaining it. Mitch Evenhouse trying the left side now. And that ball, again, just like we saw on the other end, through ball, could not find anybody to latch on, and it's out of bounds.
That was a good defensive play by the Wildcats. It looked like Timothy Christian was coming in a hurry on the counter, and that's what they do. They can get on you very quickly, and you saw that there, but a good job by the Wildcats to thwart that offensive opportunity.
Goal kick takes a deflection and works almost all the way back through, and this long ball is going to trickle out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for Anna-Jonesboro. The Wildcats out of the Southern Illinois River to River Conference. They had won a regional before, but had never gotten out of the sectionals. They do that this year. Here on the ball, Josh Anderson for the Trojans. Finds Allen right outside the 18. Drops it off for Evenhouse. Looking out wide for Martins. Martins makes a move. His cross, though, cleared away for the time being. Evenhouse punches it back in over the heads of that first line. Now it's Allen fighting for it. Knocked off the ball and bumped away. Anderson retains possession. The Trojans out of the Metro Suburban Conference, and a long shot's going to fly with the wind and clear over the goal, over the net, and up onto the berm.
And pretty good patience by the Trojans on that trip. Tried to fire one away towards the end and misfired on that one, but a good effort. Tried to swing the ball around the horn a little bit, find an opening, but credit the Wildcats defense for not really allowing them to penetrate too deep.
And Jake Parr had that crossbar covered in case that ball dipped down low at the end. I mentioned how he is their saves record holder. They get it knocked back away now. Fighting for the ball and winning it, Nathan Bauman pushes it up to Allen. Allen's 1-on-4, and he'll drop it back to Martins.
Good touch.
Now Evenhouse, Bauman, and Allen. Allen weaves his way through three, gets to the edge of the 18, left-footed shot is knocked away. Great effort. And this will go out for a corner. Great effort by Allen. He put the ball on his left foot right at the 18 and let it fly.
That was
Jake Parr up to the task.
Sorry, Nathan. That was great teamwork all the way through. But then you see the two stars on both sides making great plays. Allen for the Trojans, and then Parr able to knock it away and keep it scoreless.
On the corner, it is pushed over and wide. Parr had a big one-on-one save early yesterday in the semifinal. 9 minutes into the match, he had a huge one-on-one save. That one wasn't one-on-one as Allen let it fly from the 18, but he got that right hand out there.
Yeah, got that deep extension diving to his right, able to knock it just wide, and a good job by Anna-Jonesboro to clear it.
Another effort, and this one will result in a foul call, our first of the day. We'll set up Timothy Christian. We get another look at it. Bauman had his legs taken out from under him right as he tried to push that pass through, and they did not have the advantage, so they'll get the free kick here with Josh Anderson. 18 goals, 12 assists this year for Anderson, a junior. Right into the middle of the box, knocked away, teeing up a shot, but it's deflected again. Good defense and holding firm for the Wildcats. Martin saves possession. Now it's Anderson in the middle of the field to Evenhouse and knocked through to Lodowick. And now Anna-Jonesboro finally clears their half, and they can try to reset.
Yeah, that was much needed because Timothy Christian really pressing on the under end of the field. It looked like they had a couple of open shooting lanes, but you mentioned it, a couple of nice deflections by this front line, or this, I should say, this first line of the Anna-Jonesboro defense. So a good job to keep it scoreless.
It's a tough defense to crack. They've only given up one goal in the postseason. That was in a 2-1 overtime win over Althoff Catholic in the sectional finals. 2 shutouts in regionals, a shutout in the sectional semifinal, a shutout in the sectional, in the super sectional, and in the state semis. They worked their way into the box here, but it's knocked away before John Russell could get there, and now Anna-Jonesboro will set up. On the other side, Timothy Christian had 2 shutouts in regional play. One in sectionals 4-1 and 4-2, and in the super sectionals 2-1. So they've been more of a goal-scoring team. Anna-Jonesboro has been more of a defensive team. outside of the first regional game where Zach Parr had 5 goals himself. He's on the ball now on the edge of the box, slips it through. A shot is deflected. It was an appeal for a handball, but no call there, and it's deflected away.
That was really close. You see the fans in the stands really clamoring for a handball. I thought that was very close as well, and we'll get another look at it. Ooh. And I think they missed that one.
Inadvertent. Maybe he saw it that way. He was trying to deflect and get all the way, but definitely hit part of the arm as he spun around there in the middle of the box. And it will end up as a goal kick instead, and Noah Marrera gets an assist from Alex Markowitz, getting that shoe tied. Those goalie gloves, impossible to get that done by yourself.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So Markowitz with the goal kick. 10 minutes gone by and scoreless here in the 1A state championship game. In the rain and the wind, the rain not as heavy as it was at the start of the third place game.
That was brutal.
Still
Just
coming
being
down.
honest.
Rockford Keith Country Day took that third place game 3-2 over Urbana U High. Held on the last couple minutes after a 3-1 lead had been cut to 3-2, and then they got that third place trophy to take back to Rockford. Here comes the Trojans on the attack. They kick it out wide right. Martins one-on-one against his defender and loses possession. Now it's Anna-Jonesboro looking for a quick counter. Parr running onto this one, but there are 2 defenders there and able to clear it out. Are the Trojans. Martins a little 1-2 with Bauman, but this one's going to go out of bounds. So
you can just notice the difference in styles, and you mentioned it a few minutes ago. Anna-Jonesboro playing more of a defensive-minded game, or at least they've had such great success on that end of the field. On the other end, Timothy Christian wanting to move it up in a hurry, but you do see some speed on the other end, and I was impressed earlier on and once again with John Russell and how he's able to fly down the sideline. So good combination in that front line between Russell and Parr. They have very different skill sets, but both very effective.
Trying to keep the ball deep in Elmhurst Timothy Christian territory, but Parr will lose this one out of bounds, and that'll give the Trojans a throw-in. Parr wins possession. He's got about 1-on-5 though, looking for some support. And this one deflected off of Evenhouse. Tracking it down, Josh Anderson, deflected from him. And finally back near midfield, Anna-Jonesboro. Well, it looked like they were going to settle, but it's deflected away. The first touch on that one let Earnhardt down. And now it's the Trojans again. Martins deflects it forward. And he'll retain possession. On the ground for Allen, a little deflection. Anna-Jonesboro works it back across. So hasn't been a whole lot of play yet, Brian, in the middle of the field. It's just been on the extreme ends.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. Things starting to slow down a little bit towards that middle third, but notice the same thing.
Allen punches it out for Martins. Martins left foot, lets it fly into the box. Header is into the back of the net. What a great play for Timothy Christian to get the first goal of this state championship match. Martins put it on the left foot and teed it up perfectly for the tall defender, Ben Lodowick. Let's get a look.
Oh, that was just beautiful. I mean, set up, equidistant from the defender, not offsides, played perfectly, and we've talked about Lodowick and his contributions on both ends of the field. This time he gets on the scoring action. Second goal in his last 3 games, and Timothy Christian out to a 1-0 lead.
Wow, Lodowick did a great job running onto that, but how about the ball that Michael Martins put off of his left foot right in the perfect spot. Michael Martins with assist number 15 of the season, and that leads the team. Lodowick gets his 11th goal, and he had a big one, as you mentioned, a couple of games ago, and he puts his team on top in the state title game. 14 minutes in, Martin's looking to get it going again.
And that had to be the perfect ball because he gets too much loft underneath it. The defender catches up to it, or the keeper does. And if he doesn't get enough under it, there's no way Lodowick can separate himself from the defender. So that was about as perfect as a setup as you could possibly have.
What a great ball through, and well-timed header as well for the 1-0 lead, and ready on the throw-in, Garrett Nimmo. As we do get a substitution in. Alejandro Pineda is in for Anna-Jonesboro, number 9, the first sub of the game. And Jake Parr, who does not get beaten often, ready for the kick and gets this one down into Timothy Christian territory. Wasn't a whole lot, though, that Parr could do on that one. Here's Parr teeing it up, and he'll equalize. Wow! Off the bounce, put that one on his right foot. What a perfect volley, and we're even within just a couple of minutes.
What an answer by Anna-Jonesboro. It looks simply harmless, but it fell right into the feet of Parr, who stuck it in the top right corner, and that's what he does best, is find the back of the net, and he does it there. And what an answer by the Wildcats. After falling behind 1-0, they find the equalizer just moments after.
Deflected it down, trapped it down, got the bounce up at the perfect level he needed, just under the crossbar as he caught Morera off the line. And the equalizer's there, 1-1. Goal number 47 on the season.
So it's a little bit more of a long shot, but if he somehow ends up with 4 more in this game, he comes in the top 20 all-time in IHSA history for a single season. But how about 47 goals?
Martins punches this one through, and it's deflected out of bounds. Yeah, 47 goals, and Allen's got 34, and he's just a sophomore on the Timothy Christian side, so I guess 50 is the number for him to shoot for moving forward.
Yeah, apparently so. I don't think I scored 47 goals combined through, all my little...
From what, kindergarten?
Yeah, kindergarten through high school.
Long throw-in coming up here for the Trojans as they get all the way down inside the box, but it's headed out, cleared away. Parr will come out to get possession. Looking for some support. He does flip it up nicely on this ball to John Russell. Russell with a little through ball, but it's deflected away before Collier can get his foot on it. Timothy Christian comes back to win possession. That was Bauman. Now it's deflected off of Evenhart. Ryan Stark gets it out on the right wing for Elijah Harr, but that's going to trickle out of bounds in the throw-in for the Trojans.
And can't, overstate how big that was, obviously, to get on the board and tie the game. That looked like Timothy Christian was really starting to control the tempo of this one. I'm sure that was a little deflating to give up a goal on the other end, go down 1-0 after giving up just 1 goal the entire state tournament up into this point. But then a quick answer. That's got to get, obviously, a scoring lift, but an emotional lift for this Wildcat team as well.
Shot here is into the hands of Morera. Shot from distance, didn't trouble him much. And looked like he wanted to get the ball out quickly, but instead will punt it away. Nobody on the other end, though, and then it's kind of flubbed in that back line by Anna-Jonesboro. So attack down the left wing. That'll go out of bounds and throw in for the Wildcats here. And Brian, now the key is 1-1. Both teams scored. A wide range of emotions on both sides, from elation to leading to deflation to being tied. And on the other side, the opposite. Now let's see who responds and gets that second goal, and if it comes in the next 23 minutes here, still in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was saying before, it looked like Timothy Christian was really starting to take over, but just like that, Parr ties it, and now it's been a pretty even contest since.
Martin's shot from distance was deflected off the backside of Evenhart. Now It's Allen. Brought it down nicely, but then it's kicked away, and it'll trickle back to the box and head out of bounds right at the corner flag, and it bounces for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a lucky bounce. It went to the right of the post, so they get the goal kick instead of the deep in their own end throw-in.
Dakota Earnhardt had a yellow card in the semifinals. They had 2 yellow cards. JT Moore had one just 2 minutes into the game, and Evenhart had one a few minutes later, but those do not carry over, so nothing to worry about there. And that one took a high turf bounce, although it was well out of goal range for Morera to go track down. Been a clean played game thus far too. Just 1 foul that's been whistled thus far. We had 1 offsides, and that's it.
Potentially a missed handball. Potentially. Could have been inverted.
Correct. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be with Timothy Christian. They do have a state title under their belt in soccer, 2009. Finished second in 08 and last year, a 2-0 loss to Columbia. Looking to grab their second state title in school history. This one was out of bounds down that far sideline. For Anna-Jonesboro, a state title came in football in 1984. They're looking to get a trophy to put in next to that one. Back down in the Southern Illinois River-to-River Conference.
These kids weren't even close to born
Nope,
then.
they weren't. Up the sideline. This one will get corralled by Timothy Christian, and a whistle. So second foul called in this one on the push as they were going for the header. And Josh Anderson will set it up on the free kick near midfield. Halfway through the first half, and they want him to move backwards now, closer to midfield. The linesman on that far sideline directing him on where to let this free kick fly from. Heads for the middle of the box. Header is harmless, and Anna-Jonesboro able to clear it out. Parr saves it in bounds as well. Nicely done. Now he sets up, a little overrun that time as Stark couldn't get his foot to it. And Timothy Christian will head the other way. Looking on that sideline, deflected. Allen comes out of there with it. Trying to take it back. Now it's Stark. Stark, or Collier. Out wide.
Really good use of the body there. Collier to shield his body from his defender.
Stark's cross will not get all the way through to Parr, and Marrera comes off his line to corral it. This one jumped over John Russell and got into the other half of the field. And near handball, he let it go. Now it's out of bounds. First touch let Bowman down there.
Yeah, Nathan, you think of a state championship game, I feel like these two teams encompass almost the entire distance of the actual state. You have Elmhurst Timothy Christian in the western suburbs of Chicago. It's exactly 350 miles from Anna-Jonesboro High School, just south of Carbondale, if you're unfamiliar, northeast of Cape Girardeau in Missouri. So these two teams likely wouldn't face each other very often other than this game right here.
Not a regular season matchup,
no.
That's for sure.
Not a Tuesday night travel.
Anna-Jonesboro's players play in St. Louis for their travel team at the St. Louis Scott Gallagher Soccer Club. Both Pars, Jake and Zach, along with Jarrett Tripp and also Sheldon McGrath, play for the St. Louis Scott Gallagher Soccer Club. So obviously close to St. Louis there, and plenty of options.
City.
Yeah, plenty of options on the Elmhurst side, up in the Chicago area and in the suburbs, but those options not as high down for the Wildcats, but able to travel over to St. Louis and latch on to some travel teams. Move through by Parr. He sends it into the box, headed away. Now they'll try to reset as Tripp tracks it down, but it comes back past him. That gives possession to the Trojans, but it's given away. They'll reset with the throw in down the sideline. Actually, that was deflected, so it'll be a Trojans throw in down the sideline.
Good opportunity here. Not quite a corner, obviously, but have a chance to set up with all that firepower inside the box.
Long throw in coming here by our goal scorer, first goal scorer, I should say. Lodwick's throw in is headed away, back towards him, and he'll get another chance. This one cleared out by Collier, who's all the way back. That leaves just Parr at midfield, 1-on-3 at the moment. Nice move to get around the first defender, and he leads it on. Now it is Collier looking to get it into the box. From the end line, it's tipped through and out of bounds. That will be a goal kick. Nice move by Parr, though, to free his teammate. He was 1-on-3 and didn't seem to phase him much there.
Just gonna say that, not intimidated at all. 1-on-3 and was able to set up his teammate Collier nicely. A good angle by the defender, though, to stay in front of Collier, not give him an open lane to shoot, and you get another look.
How about that back heel? Wow. That's impressive. Athletic move. And
I haven't done anything that athletic in my entire life. What he did right there.
This one headed on by Pineda and cleared out of the back row by McGrath. That one goes over par, and he's got a chance to go get it, and he will, down the sideline against Van Ziel. Now crosses through. This one will get to the goalie. Van Ziel held his ground after losing possession and made that cross difficult on par, but there was nobody there in support coming down the middle of the field.
Yeah, and Pars a couple of times has been on the near side, near that end line, and has tried to cross it. And he's had a couple of good crosses where it's actually gotten through, but there's been nobody home, no other teammates as of yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if they keep trying that and try to get a deflection into the back of the net.
Trojans on the attack. They try the left side. Knocked out of bounds, and that was deflected by Anna-Jonesboro. Then deflected off of their coach, Mark Boomer. 92 career wins. And here's a foul in the middle of the field. So set him up. On the other side, Timothy Christian's head coach, Stephen Fernandez, in his first year as the coach, played soccer at Wheaton. Let's take a look at this foul here as Stark came in right on the legs and got whistled for it. They were national runners-up in 2014. He graduated in August, 3 months ago, and took over this program. His long shot is right at par. Didn't have to do much there to make the catch. Looking for his brother now on the long kick. Bet they've practiced that quite a few times.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how Jake got so accomplished as the goal scorer, with his brother just shooting at him in the backyard, all those goals.
Yeah, exactly. They probably needed a bigger yard as they got older for plays like that. Look how far he was able to boot that one out.
You saw Coach Fernandez there, and midsummer addition to the Timothy Christian staff, and his first year there as well. But he's coached before in China on his staff, and that's assistant coach Joel Zilke, who's coached in China. So some wide-ranging coaching resumes on both of these sidelines.
Yeah,
with Coach Fernandez playing in a national championship game last year at Wheaton, his assistant Joel Zilke coaching in China. And assistant coach Ryan Dekokic has been with the program for 13 years.
Yeah, just a very accomplished group, and did a good job to keep that chemistry going from a year ago. A team who we've mentioned numerous times played in this game a year ago, came up a little bit short, but kept that same culture, it appears, and has a lot of returners from that team as well. So just being able to pick up right where they left off a year ago.
The other side, Coach Boomer has been with Anna-Jonesboro with the 93 wins for 6 years, and he's retired Navy. Assisted by Sarah Konasik, who attended SAU Edwardsville and played at Carbondale High School. Both of those coaching staffs, the 1-1 game, and here's a ball through, and we'll get a chance to talk with both coaches coming up at halftime, get their thoughts on how this one has unfolded thus far. Headed in front for Bowman, knocked away, and Anna-Jonesboro will clear it, but all the way through. This one will trickle all the way back to Marrera, who will get another chance to boot it up to his forwards.
And Nathan, it feels like the pace has slowed down a little bit over the last few minutes. We mentioned earlier how we didn't see a lot in the middle third of the field, and then seen a lot more of that as the first half has waned down here.
Collier tried to flick on there, but it was into the defense, and now it'll be a throw-in for Anna-Jonesboro. Garrett Nimmo with the throw and headed away. Earnhardt punches it back up. Parr holds off the defender, runs onto it, but there's nobody for the cross, and it goes all the way through. Will trickle out of bounds, and this will be a goal kick. So again, a nice idea, but nobody there until it gets all the way past the back post. No harm done on that cross. So Markowitz on the goal kick. near midfield as Allen comes back to try to win it, but it's deflected away. That puts the Wildcats on the attack, looking for Parr again. Middle of the field. Little back heel, but cleared out at the 18-yard line. He's just got an assortment of tricks to try when he holds off the defender there with the ball. We've got a substitution in for the Wildcats. Pineda will head back out. And returning into the lineup is John Russell. Long throw for Moore. Parr was the target, headed away. A little fight for the ball in the middle of the field, and goes on the far sideline. Deflected out of bounds, and Anna-Jonesboro will get a chance to put it back in play and retain possession here.
Yeah, it was a really nice play by the Wildcats, able to retain possession, just knock it off the defender, knew it was going to head out of bounds. Otherwise, Timothy Christian could be headed in the other direction.
Here's Parr on the ball.
Wow.
A little crossover, let's fly from distance, deflected. Russell can't get to it. It's cleared to the sideline and eventually cleared out. And this is going to be a corner kick. That looked like there wasn't a whole lot going on, and all of a sudden Parr made a defender fall down with a crossover and let fly.
Yeah, and then the ball deflected, wasn't gobbled up originally by the keeper. I don't know if the wet ball had anything to do with that. We've talked a little bit about the weather. Ball being bounced around a little bit. Then Parr came in again late and able to deflect one off the defender and earned a corner for his squad.
Corner comes in and headed down and ready to punch it back in hard, but he did not get to it, and then offsides. Moore, who put the corner kick in, did not establish himself back on side before going for that ball, so it'll be an offsides call way over by the sideline, and the linesman was all over it as Moore just stood there by the corner and then came flying in looking for the ball. He's got to reestablish himself before he can do that. So we're under 10 minutes to go in half number one. Tied at 1. Both goals came within just a couple of minutes of each other. Lodowitz on a header for Timothy Christian off a great ball from Michael Martins, who's on the ball right now, number 8. Just 2 minutes later, Zach Parr equalized with a brilliant volley. Martins into the middle of the field now for Anderson. Anderson to Allen. And that's Bowman, who got there first. Bowman has it deflected away, and Anderson couldn't get to it. Cleared back into the defensive half where you know Parr is going to try to run it down. He goes after everything that crosses midfield. Martins makes a man
nice
miss.
Move.
1-on-2, dribbles into the middle of the field, gets away, has it on his left foot, leaves it. Now it's looking for Allen, but they can't push it through. Back near midfield, and Lodowitz will knock it away for Martins. Excuse me, that's Evenhouse. Now Evenhouse to Bowman. Bowman flips it through, and they'll let Parr come out and grab this one. They do have a lot of options. Timothy Christian went on the attack. Allen leads them in goals, but we've seen Evenhouse, who had a couple in the semifinal. Martins has served it up, and here's Josh Anderson, who's seen a lot of the ball today. Anderson has it taken away. Now they look for Parr on the left side, but the ball won't get through to him. Martins, fancy footwork again, gets away from his defender, Russell. He's got options here into the middle of the field. It's on his left foot, leaves it, but Allen couldn't get through to it. May have been offsides anyway from that right side, and Parr comes out to grab it.
Yeah, that might have been why Allen didn't continue on that route. Might have been offsides. Either way, what a play by Martins. A great couple of minutes by Martins, being able to escape from his defender, find Green, and make a nice pass, but Allen maybe just a little too far off to pursue that pass.
Well, and Martins is also the one who cleared the ball away when it was not caught by the goalkeeper off of that last shot by Parr at the other end of the pitch. So he's done a little bit of everything today.
Yeah, and you said it just a couple of minutes ago that, everyone talks about Allen and his goal-scoring ability, and justifiably so, but we talked about the contributions from Lodowitz. We've already seen that today. Someone from Martin who's made plays on both ends, and everyone else who hands the ball for Timothy Christian. Even that first goal that set up Lodowitz, the great passing in the middle of the field, short passing even really set that up.
We've got a whistle. The linesman had a foul against Anna-Jonesboro on that sideline. Alejandro Pineda is back in for the Wildcats as well. He subbed in before that last throw-in, and then the linesman called the foul. So 6.5 to go in the first half. And they will have a free kick deep in their own territory here. The 50-50 ball is knocked out of bounds by Anna-Jonesboro. So Timothy Christian with that free kick advanced the ball all the way down into the other end, and now Anderson on the short throw will knock it backwards. With it left side. Back in the middle for Allen, and now Anderson's got it, and they'll knock it back through. Cleared out by Anna-Jonesboro, and this will trickle all the way back, and it'll be headed to Morera so that he can pick it up. Of course, if you use your feet, cannot pick it up, but use the head, use the chest, get it back to the goalie, and they can use their hands, punt it away. It's exactly what the Trojans did there. Anderson off the head, now it's back to Evenhouse. Knocked away, nice move, and that's going to be a foul. And one of the first free kicks in the offensive half for the Wildcats this evening.
Yeah, and it looks like they were headed for some sort of an advantage. So almost an incidental foul as the defender had slipped on this turf.
Now we got another one in the middle of the field off of the free kick. They went quickly, and Elijah Haar got caught right about shortstop on the on the baseball diamond here at the Corn Crib. You can see it as they went quickly. He got caught right across the waist by the high leg of Evenhouse, and this will set up the Wildcats, and Zach Parr from about 25 yards out directly on goal. Right foot coming for Parr, into the wall. Second chance, into the wall again. The defense held firm with two big blasts off the right foot of Zach Parr from about 25, 28 yards away. The wall did their job there. With it on the right side. Anna-Jonesboro has it knocked out of bounds, and a throw-in coming. Oh, he teed that first one up and just let it fly, didn't he?
Yeah, and why not? He certainly has the ability. He's got great accuracy as well to go along with the power.
Throw-in coming by Moore on that right sideline. Gets into the box. Parr can't get to it, and it's cleared out by Markowitz. They've got it again on the throw-in for Anna-Jonesboro. So at the moment, the Trojans having trouble clearing it out of their defensive half. They've gotten it back at least out of harm's way, but every time they do, it's a throw-in for the Wildcats. Anna-Jonesboro again on the attack. This one in the box for Parr. Tried to volley it, could not, and it's cleared out. Left in the middle of the field, nice flick. Stark into the box and picked up by Morera, because that would have taken a deflection, and he did not want it to be a corner kick. A chance to boot it away with 3 minutes and change to go in the first half in a tied state championship 1A boys soccer match. Here is Martins again. Makes two guys miss and then leaves it in the middle of the field. Anderson switches it on the left side, deflected, and this will go for a corner. So didn't get all the way through to his intended target, but does end up being a corner kick for the Trojans here on the far left corner, and Anderson will go out there to take the corner.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the intent per se. You see Martins yet again with a nice touch toward the middle of the field, and they tried to thread one through, but again, the desired result anyway with the corner.
Corner headed away, and then knocked all the way back near midfield. They'll try to reset from there. Looking on the right side and cleared up for Parr. And almost Van Zee took a boot to the face. Just did avoid that. And now a whistle and a foul is called. So this will be a kick, free kick, right near midfield for the Trojans.
Yeah, you said almost a foot to the face. Obviously not the intent there. You saw the player go down try to get a head on it at the same time Parr was lifting that right foot.
Markowitz on the free kick from midfield. Lets this one fly into the box. Dangerous ball, headed away.
Really good ball, right where you wanted it.
Back up now for Parr, trying to get around the defender. He'll get the ball back on the right side and punch it out there. But they cannot get to it. Har had it knocked away, and this will be an Anna-Jonesboro throw in with as they push forward here. Drop it back, now lose possession. A little bit of a miss hit there. Anderson sprinting across the center stripe. Now they try to cross to the right side. Does not get all the way through to Martins though. Leaves it back. Russell. Knocked away from Parr by Van Zielt. And there's 1 minute to go in the first half. Evenhouse pushed it too far forward, and Anna-Jonesboro can calm down for a second on defense after a couple balls into the box. Martins on the header. Allen comes back to win it. He does win possession. Then knocked away from him, though, with 30 seconds to go in the half.
Almost looks like these teams are somewhat content going into the half tied up. Solely to make some sort of adjustments, because it really almost has been a stalemate, I feel like, the last 10 minutes or so. Neither team really to grasp control of the contest.
This is knocked out of bounds with 10 seconds to go in the first half. So Stark will get the throw in, but it's going to take a long boot from here to get a shot at goal. Martins from midfield won't even let it fly. He'll just dribble out the last couple seconds of the first half, and the 1A Boys Soccer State Championship game is tied at halftime 1-1. Both goals came within just a couple of minutes of each other as Timothy Christian found the back of the net first on a beautiful cross from Michael Martins into the middle of the field. Right into the front of the box at the 6. That found the head of defender Ben Lodowitz for the goal. And they were barely done celebrating when at the other end, Zach Parr was able to tee up a volley and put it in the back of the net just below the crossbar and get this one even at 1-1. And that's where we head into halftime. We've got the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Mark Boomer. And Coach, thanks for joining us here at halftime. A nice goal equalizer for Zach Parr to get you guys right back even after allowing a goal. And it seems like he's been your go-to guy all season.
Yes, he has.
And a fantastic job. Can you talk about the range of emotions there? You give up that goal and come right back down 2 minutes later and get it even?
We're not giving up. We're here to play. We're here to battle.
And on the other end as well, a big save early from Jake Parr as well to keep them off the score sheet early.
Yes, sir.
And what do you tell your team now at halftime? Get ready for the second half.
We come out and be prepared to battle.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's the coach of the Wildcats from Anna-Jonesboro, Mark Boomer, as we get ready for halftime. We'll be back with highlights and stats. It's 1-1 in the Class 1A State Championship game on Comcast Sportsnet.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
1-1 halftime between Anna-Jonesboro and Timothy Christian, and Brian, both goals scored within just a couple of minutes of each other as we had a very high-packed first 15 minutes of this match.
Yeah, and Anna-Jonesboro came off to kind of a slower start like they did in the semifinal game, and Timothy Christian had numerous chances to take a 1-0 lead. They finally do, but then just as you were saying earlier, just as they were done celebrating, you saw the Wildcats come back, answer it up, tied at 1, and it was pretty even the rest of the way.
We'll take a look at the highlights from the first half of play, and it gets started on defense as the defense for both teams. Nice tackle there, and one of the few times Martins was dispossessed. And then on the sideline, a nice takeout. And here's Martins clearing the line back later in the half, as that kept it clean sheet. But Jimmy Allen working his way through. Nice save by Jake Parr there early On the other end, Zach Parr's seen a lot of the ball, and for good reason, throughout the day. And there's one of his shots that was saved by Marrera. That one off the deflection. Here's the first goal. Nice ball by Martins, and Lodowick into the back of the net. Fantastic cross to get the Trojans onto the score sheet. And on the other end, look at him tee this one up right under the crossbar. Caught the goalie offline. Got to see even Zach Parr doing what he's done all season. Goal number 47 on the season. Fantastic year, and he got it even at 1-1. So that sets us up for what should be a thrilling second half. Anna-Jonesboro and Timothy Christian out of Elmhurst. 1-1 at halftime in the boys 1A State Soccer Championship on Comcast Sportsnet.
The IHSA is motivation, effort, innovation, emotion, community. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
1-1 between the Wildcats and the Trojans at halftime. Second half coming up as the state championship will be decided over the next 40 minutes, or will we have overtime? Trojans and Wildcats, second half starting after this on Comcast Sportsnet.
The IHSA is sportsmanship, competition, pageantry, strength, respect. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
Second half ready to get going. The Wildcats of Anna-Jonesboro on the kickoff. Nathan Believa and Brian Beto with you. And Brian, we saw the first half of the first half was action-packed. The pace slowed down a little bit right in the middle of that half. What do you expect here as the second half gets underway?
Yeah, it's difficult to forecast solely because of what you just said. It seemed like both teams were trying to play to their strengths early on. You know, we saw Anna-Jonesboro and how good they are defensively. Timothy Christian was really pushing it earlier. That resulted in the goal, but it's almost like they slowed down a little bit after allowing the equalizer. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments these two coaches made at the break.
Anna-Jonesboro in the white with the blue shorts. Timothy Christian in the red with the black stripes, black shorts. Jimmy Allen had it knocked away from him and cleared back out, where Martins will try it again and get onto the right side. Looking for the cross here. Instead, sprinting it into the box. Wow. They leave it off. Nice chance. It's deflected away. So the first chance of the second half goes to the Trojans, and they get the ball back right at the 18, and then finally cleared out by the Wildcats all the way up to Parr. The one thing that'll be interesting to see is with the wind now on the side of Timothy Christian in the direction of which they're going, Parr was able to receive those kicks on the opposition half for most of the first half. Now he's going to come back and going to have to come back into his own defensive half to receive those and get the offense going.
Yeah, and that's going to play a factor solely because you saw many times him isolate, and then Anna-Jonesboro not worried about having him isolate against three different defenders, but it's going to push the offense and the starting point back a little bit further from what he had in the first half. So that is going to be an adjustment, especially in the onset of the second half.
Alex Markowitz on the goal kicks, as he has been all night long. And this one will get flicked on over the midfield stripe, and now back across. A little kickball back and forth here in the early couple minutes of this half. They try on the right side with it. Now it's back onto the foot of Ryan Stark, and that one will sail well over the fence and out of play.
Yeah, just shanked it off the side of the foot a little bit. It was difficult, ball in motion. Again, a wet ball kind of skipping across the turf. Didn't have a great angle, but definitely worth a shot based on the ball nearing the end line.
So another goal kick, and this one grounded right over to Collier. He had it knocked away as he looked like he was trying to decide whether to tee it up from distance. Down the sideline and kept in bounds. Knocked back all the way through, and the Wildcats will reset. Back with it, Anderson. Anderson brings it across midfield. Goes to Allen. Allen over on the right side. Martin's left foot, but that just comes in the middle of the box and is knocked away. This will go for a goal kick. Martins didn't get a whole lot on that one. Is it grounded back into the box and easy to handle for the Wildcats?
Yeah, that a huge threat, that trip down. Both these teams trying to feel each other out and how they're going to play it here in the second half. But it almost looks like a continuation from the first half, at least so far.
This will go for a throw in for the Trojans right at midfield. They'll get the offense going down the right side as they build from the back. Evenhouse, right side. Looking to cross it in. It's knocked away, and Jonesboro had it, but the linesman's got his flag up. I think that hit the hand. And it did. That's exactly what he signaled. Back at the hand of Nathan Bauman as he was running through. Middle of the field. This one goes ahead to Parr. Parr turns, flips it up over the head of the defender for Collier over on the left side of the box, and nicely done by Marrera to come out and play it. He was outside of the box, so had to just clear it out. Couldn't use his hands, and he left his line immediately when that ball got over the head of the defender.
Yeah, that was an excellent aggressive play by Marrera. Good reaction time. Realized that his defender had mistimed the jump a little bit. Didn't hesitate, took off, realized where he was on the field, and just knocked it out of bounds because that could have been disaster for his squad.
A missed trap here knocks it out of bounds and gives it to Timothy Christian. They will clear it back out to midfield, but that allows Dakota Earnhardt to reset the offense. Left side. Looking for the cross. They get it. Collier off his head and out of bounds. The cross was a little bit behind him, but he was still able to go up and get ahead on it.
Just not a ton on the setup pass, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that he was so close to the end line, had to shift last second to even keep it in play. But a decent chance right there by the Wildcats, something to build on.
Goal kick clears everybody. Now it's a race to the ball. It's deflected, and that will go as a goal kick. So from one end of the field to the other off of a goal kick. So that one got deflected off of Allen and went out of bounds. So they'll send it the other way now. Headed in the air by Timothy Christian. They control possession. And a nice run down the sideline, but that's finally going to trickle out of bounds. And it will stay actually with the Trojans. So last touch by the Wildcats on that far sideline. Was tough to tell from our vantage point who got it last, but that linesman had it right in front of him. So Lodowitz will come up and make the long throw. We see it on this sideline. Evenhouse. Yep. Didn't touch it again as he slid through. That was last touch by White. And the ball is going to go straight back out of bounds, and another long throw. Great coverage by our camera crew as well to get a good shot of that. A long throw into the middle of the box. Hit off of Anderson, and this one not yet completely cleared as it's going to go for another throw. So the Wildcats having trouble clearing the ball out of danger. Martin's left foot puts it into the box, and this time Parr will come out and corral it himself.
A good aggressive play by Parr. We saw one from Marrera on the other end. This time Parr just taking matters into his own hands, and that might have been another handball if I'm not mistaken.
Long boot by Parr, and it hit the ground and came straight up and got his teammate in the arm. Take another look at it right there. Tried to get the right arm out of the way to Jared Collier, but could not. And he raised his arms, which is the universal sign that I did it, right? And any sport you're playing, here's a header on through to Parr. Any sport, you put your hands up to tell the official that it didn't touch you last. That means it touched you last. With it is Evenhart. So right now, the Trojans having the better of the first 10 minutes of this second half. Got that last shot on goal on the header, but they'll push this through. We know all it takes is one run on by Parr at the other end, though, and as we saw in the first half, Anna-Jonesboro's in business. Knocked away, Elijah Haar on the header. Even house, and it drops to Haar. Deflected by Anderson. Right side, Anderson makes a move for the sideline. This one's going to fall to the feet of Allen. Allen looking for some support. He's got it now on both sides. Into the middle of the field. Let's fly. Deflected. Now it's onto the left side and will be cleared out. You could tell Allen wanted to get that ball on his left foot and just tee one up as close to the middle of the field as he could.
And we've seen that a lot from the Wildcats defensively. Is Timothy Christian's had a couple of good setups, a few good runs out there, but just able to get some deflections.
A lot of which drying the ball off in a unique fashion.
Anyway.
Thought maybe he had his Halloween costume ready for post game. Here's the kick through, deflected and cleared out of the back. That one almost found its way all the way through. And another long throw coming. He's done a great job with these long throws, putting them into the middle of the box.
The strength and torque he's able to provide. How deep he can get those throws. I mean, he makes it about 90 feet from home to third on a fly.
Into the box and off the crossbar. That one almost went in off of the throw-in. Nobody touched it. It took a bounce over Parr and was saved by the goalpost. So woodwork off the throw-in. And now at the other end, Parr on the ball, middle of the field, slides it through, looking for a teammate, and coming out to get it, Morera. That's the second time in this half we've seen Morera leave his line. Let's look at this again, Brian.
I don't know how it doesn't touch anyone. That's unbelievable, and then it doesn't go in.
It went over the head of the defender, then it went through the legs of Bowman, over the goalie, and off the crossbar.
If he tried that a million times, I don't think they'd be able to do it.
Here's Parr again. Flicks it for the 18, knocked away by Lodowitz. He's been all over the place. He's got a goal, almost just had another on the throw-in, and doing a great job in that back line as well, and he'll get this one for another throw right in front of his own bench. Drops it off to Allen. Knocked out of bounds. This one will go back to Anna-Jonesboro. The Wildcats on the throw-in. They've had no answer for those long throw-ins, but that last one hit the crossbar, so that helped them. Into the middle of the field, here's Anderson. Anderson flicks it on for Allen. Gets to it at the 18, but is bodied off the ball. Nicely done. Another chance. Here's a collision on a 50-50 ball and a play on.
I like the no call. I feel like they were both entitled to that opportunity there. Both just collided at the same time. Incidental. I think it's good no call.
They got to the ball at the exact same time. And we'll take another look at it here. Martins might have taken the worst of that, but he's back up and going, and 10 minutes gone by in the second half, and still a 1-1 game.
And it just feels like Anna-Jonesboro, and this has been a small sample size for me, but they tend to get a little bit more comfortable as the half progresses. As you can look at some Halloween costumes.
Yep. Dressed up as corn right in the middle of the stands. We've got a referee down there in the stands as well. I don't think his calls matter as much as the other three gentlemen out there in the gold that are actually on the pitch instead of the one in the front row of the stands. Here's a throw through. Gets all the way through, and Russell let fly, but that one will clear over. Was it deflected? It was, so it'll go as a corner kick for the Wildcats. And Ryan Stark, 11 goals, 12 assists. Let's take another look.
Yeah, I thought it was just a misfire at first, but apparently it must have nicked the defender's toe or something along of that nature. A good opportunity. Let's see if the Wildcats can capitalize.
Stark on the corner, short and taken out front. Did not get into any of his teammates, and it's all the way up to Allen. Allen traps it, and running off the ball, it'll head out of bounds. Last touch by Bowman. Throw for the Wildcats, crossing midfield, and Russell's on it. He'll leave it back for Earnhardt, and then all the way through left side. With it is Har from outside the 18. That hit Lodowitz. Drops off to Tripp, and then Tripp looking for the sideline.
Official got in the way.
Yep. Part of the field.
Mm-hmm.
He was looking for Russell on that sideline to switch it, and it rolls out of bounds.
And Russell wisely chooses not to run through the official.
Yeah.
Be the last call he'd get, right? Get another look.
Right into the back on that one. On that shot from distance. This one's going to go all the way through into the box. Parr. And that's where you see the wind coming into effect. In the first
Definitely.
half, all of his kicks were clearing midfield, and that one fell about 10 feet short. And then a foul on Stark as he upended and flipped over Josh Anderson. Gave him a little pat on the shoulder right away, and Markowitz will get it towards the box, into the 18, deflected as that pinball's around, and it comes out of there. Anna-Jonesboro pushing it forward. Collier, but his touch goes awry. Now Anderson from distance over the net. He looked up and saw Jake Parr was a little off his line and decided to have a go from distance.
Yeah, I think it was a good effort, good decision. He was far out, but there was space in front of him. Had time to wind up, and as you mentioned, maybe saw Parr was off his line a little bit. Took a shot, tried to hit that same corner that you saw Parr on the other side score in the first half, but just a little bit off.
Eric Bagunski in for Timothy Christian. He scored the first goal in the semifinal game as a sub, scored just a couple minutes after subbing in. Did play a little bit in the first half as well. He's in right now. Bowman goes out. Here comes the Wildcats on the sideline, and it's deflected away and back to Morera, who will punt this one over midfield. Knocked down. Now the Wildcats. Russell trying to fight through. It's knocked backwards. And now Evenhouse, he spins, switches directions. Anderson across midfield with the ball on his left foot. Leaves it into the middle, but a little too far for Bagunski. With it on the sideline. Moving forward and knocked away. That one will trickle over the end line and be a goal kick. Here for the Wildcats, and we've got subs in on both sides. Heading out for the Wildcats, number 4, Jared Collier. As Pineda's back in, and on the other side, right in number 9, Trevor Hugendoom for the first time. Jason Quack went to the sidelines. So Hugendoom will take the left side, and he's immediately on the ball. It's cleared all the way back. And Morera will corral this one. They've been able to use his long kicks to spring chances in this second half. Not this time, though, as it's headed by the Wildcats.
Yeah, we don't have the exact numbers in front of us, Nate, but I feel like Timothy Christian's won that time of possession battle here in the second half. You've seen the ball on your left side of your screen far more often, but we've seen some quick spurts from Anna-Jonesboro at times, and we could be on the verge of another.
Here's Parr on the ball. He came back to win it, muscles his way around, lets it fly, and that one's just too high. I don't know how he even came back to get that ball.
That was impressive.
And they're right on it for another goal kick. He came back, won that ball, kind of muscled off of it, and take a look at it here. Gets around one guy, and boom, there goes a shot attempt. That right foot. This one will go near midfield and then cleared back. Nearly a handball there. As Moore came flying in. Nice move by Allen to get free, and it's knocked away, cleared back across midfield, and it gets past Frankfurt. Pitching it ahead for Parr. He gets into the box. Left-footed shot is saved by Morera. That's the best chance of the second half for the Wildcats.
Took the words out of my mouth. Was just going to say that probably for either side. We see Parr have an opportunity in possession before. This time he actually gets behind the Trojan defense. Going down, tries it with the left foot, but Morera had it positioned perfectly.
Allen at the other end, right outside the 18, dancing around with the ball, drags through, and he hits the ground. No call there. He got up appealing for a penalty, but the official would have no part of that. It's right back to Allen. He deflects it. Bagunski, now it's back. On the other side, here come the Wildcats. Russell gets around a defender, leaves it for Parr on the edge of the 18. Parr, his crossing attempt, deflected away. That brings the Trojans near midfield, but even Earnhardt steps up and knocks it away. That one goes out of bounds. You're watching the IHSA Class 1A State Championship game, tied at 1 from Normal on Comcast Sportsnet.
The IHSA is success, teamwork, overcoming adversity, dedication, tradition. The future plays here. The Illinois High School Association.
All right, welcome back to the Corn Crib. Normal Illinois tied at 1, second half, 21 minutes to go. And this one goes through. It's deflected off the goalie, and Allen puts the Trojans on top, 2-1. Parr could not corral that low bouncing shot, and off for the rebound. Allen with goal number 35 of the season.
Yeah, and Nathan, kind of a surprise there. You see Parr, and we've talked about the ball maybe being wet, and Parr not able to corral it, but credit Allen for not giving up on the play, not assuming that the ball was going to be gobbled up, stayed with it, knocked it past Parr, and a 2-1 Trojan lead.
The sophomore, Jimmy Allen, his 35th goal of the year. He's already their single-season goal-scoring record holder, and even as a sophomore, their career goal-scoring record holder. That might be the biggest one of his career if it holds up over the next 21 minutes. Remember, last time they scored, the Wildcats answered within 2 minutes. Here comes Allen on the ball again. Stolen by Earnhardt. And they go on the left side to Russell. So Jimmy Allen strike off of a rebound, unassisted. Puts the Trojans on top 2-1. Knocked out of bounds. That will stay with the Trojans on the deflection on the slide. Sometimes those shots from distance can be the trickiest ones as they bounce through. And with it now is Anderson. Allen was there to take advantage. It's what goal scorers do. They find the ball, especially inside that 6. Outside the 18. Here is Martins on the ball. His shot's deflected high in the air. The Trojans will keep possession. Bagunski battling with Stark. Kept possession and drew a foul on Stark. After Bagunski kept it, Stark a little frustrated, and there's a first push. Actually, went the other way, and then after Bagunski won possession, Stark kind of grabbed him.
Yeah, good sportsmanship at the end of it all, though. A little aggressive, getting a little chippy, but you saw both players shake hands immediately after that.
That was through and into the net, off of the free kick. 3-1 for the Trojans. That free kick found its way through. Let's take another look. Anderson on it. It's deflected. That's the substitute, number 9, Trevor Hugendoom, the junior midfielder who just came in a couple minutes ago. And he got the last touch on goal number 3.
That's the perfect redirection, just enough to get it out of the sideline of Parr in the midst of, it felt like 20 players down there. and coming off the bench, doing just a terrific job and gives Timothy Christian a little bit of insurance. Nathan, how about the response? Last time in the first half when Timothy Christian scores, they give up a goal almost immediately. This time, the exact opposite happens, and they tack onto their lead.
Well, and that's what they did last night in the semifinal against Urbana-U-High. They scored in bunches. And now they're on for another one. That one's into the back of the net. Martins from the 18 on the left foot, and it's 4-1 for the Trojans.
How fitting. Martins, who's been outstanding in pretty much every aspect of the game, able to make it 4-1. The beautiful left foot. Nothing Parr could have done on that trip. And as you said, they like to score in bunches, and we've seen 3 in the last few minutes.
And another sophomore finding the back of the net. Allen's a sophomore, Martin's a sophomore. They both scored here in the last few minutes. Only 4 seniors on this squad. The first goal scorer, Ben Lodowitz, a senior.
So what you're saying is they're going to be pretty good next year, too.
Yeah, I think they are. And a 4-1 lead now as they've picked up distance in the last few minutes, and the Wildcats are going to have to apply pressure immediately. With it on the deflection now, the one thing that the Trojans can do if they elect to do so is pull everybody back now and just get inside the box and not let Zach Parr get any kind of breathing room up front. They'll try a corner here for the Wildcats off the set piece. Headed away and over the goal.
And Nathan, you had a chance to watch Timothy or both these teams play last night, but it almost kind of fits the script of what they did last night. Obviously the score is identical, but you mentioned trying to score in bunches. Just have that ability to turn it up a notch and get you on your heels, and we've seen that over the last 5-6 minutes.
Well, Timothy Christian got the first 3 in the semi against previously unbeaten Urbana-U-High. They gave up a goal to make it 3-1 and then immediately scored to make it 4-1 and put this game away. There were some people that were packing up and heading out of here to get warm when it went to 3-0 with about 25 minutes left, and those people weren't even to their cars, and it was back to 4-1.
And you mentioned against a team that hadn't lost all season long and just didn't come in intimidated at all and just really took it to them. And obviously, when you get this far, you're playing great teams all the way down, and just their ability to put the ball in the back of the net and spread it around. We talked about Allen pretty much all game and his goal scoring ability, but he's certainly not alone on this roster.
Looking to get possession here as this was knocked out of bounds. You look at the last 2 games of the regular season for Timothy Christian were losses. The first of those was to Chicago Latin 2-0. Well, they beat Chicago Latin in the Super Sectional 2-1, so that's revenge there. And then the other loss in the regular season finale was 5-1 to Wheaton Academy. Well, Wheaton Academy won state last year in 2A. This year they're in 3A, and we very well may see them in Hoffman Estates as we broadcast here on Comcast Sportsnet next weekend, looking to win another state title. So no shame at all in losing to Wheaton Academy in that regular season finale. They lost to Ridgewood early in the season and lost to Peoria Christian 4-3. Peoria Christian lost in the Super Sectionals as well. So that's a fantastic schedule that they put up there.
And it really sets them up for success.
Sure,
you know, when you play that type of competition throughout the course of the regular season, not only do you have the chance to maybe adjust if you meet that team again in the playoffs, but at the same time, you're used to this type of competition, and this is what you get throughout the entire playoffs. So great run by Timothy Christian.
And wins this year also against Montini, Nazareth Academy, and St. Thomas More. So some big wins in there. This one headed away is Anna-Jonesboro, trying to push forward now and get as many bodies as they can into the attacking half of the field, trailing by 3 with 15 minutes to play. Three goals in the second half for the Trojans. They push forward to do the Wildcats. This one's going to find its way through to Parr. Outside the 18, and just deflected over. What a quick shot by Parr, and up to the task was Noah Morera, getting the hand of the ball and flipping it over the crossbar.
Well, an excellent footwork, a terrific shot by Parr, but just a better save by Morera, who timed his jump perfectly, just able to get the fingertips on it to punch it over the top of the net.
Here comes a low corner. Bounces out. Turning Har back up front to Earnhardt. This one will go wide. Morera, a junior. We mentioned the sophomores earlier, but a junior Morera was only allowed 28 goals, including the one tonight, on the season. Anna-Jonesboro finds themselves in a position they're not used to, trailing 4-1. They beat Carbondale on the regular season finale 5-4, and they did have a 6 goals against game back at the end of September against a powerhouse and Waterloo Gilboa Catholic, who's a team that they came back and beat 1-0 in the sectional. So sort of a 6-2 loss to a 1-0 win as they avenged that setback. Their other losses were 2-1 to Perryville out of Missouri, 2-1 to Chatham Glenwood, and 3-1 to Marion High School. So giving up 4 goals, being down 3, not territory they're familiar with. No. And here's Allen looking for more, and that one trickles away from him. He was trying to drag it onto his left foot, could not.
And the Trojans, at the very least, trying to eat some clock by keeping it down on the other end of the field. You saw Allen slow things down a little bit, try to have the seconds tick away.
Here with the foul of the Trojans. So Earnhardt will set it up, try to put this one in the box and see if they can get a shot on goal. Deflected. And into Morera's. He's got that one. He was ready for that deflection.
That was very close. Morera just positioned perfectly.
He's had 2 really good saves since his team took a 3-goal lead.
And that was extremely important to make sure he hauled that in, didn't allow a rebound opportunity because players were lurking. A great save by Morera, 2 now in the last few minutes.
Well, and this game changed on a rebound opportunity at the other end. The ball rolled in as we've got a foul here against Stark. The ball rolled in and hit off of Parr, and Allen was there to bang it home. About 3 minutes later, they tacked on 2 more as we see this foul against Anna-Jonesboro. Anderson goes short this time, and it's over from Evenhouse. Thought they might try to bounce that one through the 18 like they did for the last goal, but played it short instead. Subbing in here for Timothy Christian, number 17, Caden Duma. And he replaces number 9. That's the goal scorer, the last goal scorer, Trevor Hugendoom. He made it 4-1 off of the set piece and the redirection. With it are the Trojans up the sideline. Stolen away. Now it's Har on the attack for the Wildcats. Knocked off the ball by Anderson. Deflected to the middle of the field. Stark will knock it back for Earnhardt. Now Earnhardt has to get around Martins. He does so. Gets it out wide. Pineda lets fly from the right side, and Morera there for this one as well.
That's another good save because that ball was put right on target. That was an excellent shot. Good amount of loft, but Morera, we've seen, he's got some pretty good ups back between the posts.
Well, that showed that on the save he made on Parr from the left-footed shot at the 18 as he redirected it over his crossbar and into the berm area behind the fence on the right side with it. His Tripp. Tripp fouled. Duma had a hold of him, and it'll be a free kick. So Earnhardt will put this one in play from a dangerous spot. And didn't get much on that one. So goal kick coming up for the Trojans. And again, as you mentioned earlier, a chance to run a little bit of clock if they can retain possession and get across midfield.
Yeah, and time winding down on both these teams' season. Obviously, Timothy Christian well in control of this one, but you know, look at the Wildcats season, and I know, Nathan, you've mentioned it numerous times, the success that this school had this year after really not getting anywhere close to where they got this season to make it all the way down to state, had it tied up. I mean, just a magnificent year for the Wildcats, a ton of talent, and you can see why they made it down here, that's for sure.
Well, both these teams last year lost to Columbia, just in different spots. Anna-Jonesboro did it in the sectional semifinals, but it was a 7-6 game in the sectional semifinals to lose to Columbia. Then Columbia beat Timothy Christian in the state championship. Here's a deflection, but helping out his defender is Lodowitz. And helping out his goalie, I should say. This one is cleared through. That ball kind of snuck in on Marrera, and he's going to go up now and give his defender a high five. Good job clearing that one out.
And the rebound opportunity there, just unfortunately for Anna-Jonesboro, didn't find the feet of one of their offensive players right in front of the net. Couldn't capitalize.
With it at midfield now are the Trojans. Anderson trying to run some clock through. That through ball did not find a target, and here come the Wildcats. Drop it off for Haar. Haar could not turn. Gets it back into the middle of the field for Earnhardt. Earnhardt heading up the left side. Gets it out wide. Russell into the corner. Trying to cross it through, looking for Collier, can't get it to him. Then the rebound, Collier again, can't get a shot off. Stark had a shot at it, so did Collier. Here's Earnhardt, back in. And knocked all the way out to midfield, where it'll roll out of bounds for Moore. So a couple more chances for the Wildcats.
They've had a few, and Marrera's been up to the task, and then the one that kind of dribbled out of his arms just a couple of minutes ago. His defender was there to have his back cleared that one out. A good, decent opportunity there as well. So Anna-Jonesboro not going quietly at the end of this one.
4-1 lead for the Trojans of Timothy Christian as they sub on. Bowman heads back out. Moore's throws knocked away. And they'll completely cross fields now as Garrett Nimmo on that left sideline. Try to get something going through Zach Parr. Parr heading towards the 18. Left-footed shot is over Marrera, but also over the crossbar. And another fantastic effort from Parr.
Yeah, I mean, he is just a player. I mean, the amount of torque he's able to generate from both his left and right feet, just the space he's able to create, the way he's been able to move past defenders, the strength that he has just in general to move around that, the fancy footwork. He's just been a joy to watch tonight.
The goal kick will get all the way across midfield, and the Wildcats try to get the offense going again. Up to Parr, knocked away. Haar lifted it over his defender, but then it's headed away. So it'll be another throw for Moore as we're under 6 minutes to play. This one goes past Collier and all the way through. Cleared out across midfield. Allen trying to chase it down. Nimmo gets it across midfield again for Russell. Russell with Parr on his left, goes to Parr. Parr crosses it into the box, a little too far for Collier, and it is cleared out. Back to pick it up is Duma. Gets it back near midfield before Earnhardt takes possession again for the Wildcats. Now the Trojans with the dribble can cross midfield. 5 minutes to go, and it'll go into the corner for Allen. Allen back near the 18. Moves around his defender, goes to ground. No call there, and it's going to be cleared out of bounds. Substitutions in for both teams.
Yeah, almost an ideal spot, too, for Timothy Christian. Just able to get all the way down near the end line, take seconds off the clock, then still retain possession near the flagpole. As you see, like you mentioned, Nathan, a slew of substitutions for both sides.
James Zervheim and Connor Toon are both in for the Trojans, and a chance to get some experience playing in the state championship game with 4.5 to go and a 4-1 lead. Header in midfield, and the Wildcats will come away with the ball. Moving it forward, looking for Parr. It'll find its way through to him on the edge of the 18. Gets around one defender, then double teamed, and it's knocked away from him. Good defense. Out wide. Quack puts it ahead. And this one will trickle out of bounds on that far sideline. Wildcats with under 4 minutes to go, needing 3 goals. They equalized in the first half at 1, but this second half, especially that 6-7 minute stretch, was all Trojans.
Yeah, that was clearly great analysis to say that was the difference, that 6-7 minute stretch of scoring 3 goals. But that was just outstanding soccer on both ends and by a number of contributors for the Trojans.
Quack has it knocked away off of his crossing attempt and trying to run it down. A shove from behind. It'll be a foul against McGrath. And official talks to him, but with 3 minutes to go, he's not going to go to the card. They sandwiched Quack right there on the side. Wow.
Good thing he's all right, but I think Wildcats just being aggressive, trying to close this thing out strong.
Anderson will put it in play. They scored from a set play from about this distance. This one will go wide as he tried a shot this time. He served the other one into the box, and it was the deflection that then found Hugendoom for that third goal. And then Michael Martins put it away with his shot from just outside the 18. That was after Allen had put home a rebound. 3 goals in quick succession for the Trojans.
It's like a blur, felt like.
Here now are the Wildcats trying to mount one last attack. Jarrett Tripp had it. Now it's out to Har. Har gets around Quack. Gets it into the 18 for Tripp, but it's knocked out of there by the Trojans, and then Tripp's going to run over the back of Lodowich, who's been all over. Scored the first goal on a header off a great cross by Martins. He cleared one ball that had his goalkeeper beaten, and he's done a great job with those throw-ins. In fact, he almost scored directly off a throw-in in the second half as well. So
yeah, he's just been all over the place, and again, listed as a defender, and that has been kind of his primary role to an extent as far as time of possession is concerned. But they're not afraid to sneak him up. They're not afraid to use him on those long throw-ins, on those deep crosses, and it's paid off in every aspect of not only tonight's game, but pretty much this entire state tournament.
Almost 1 minute to go. It's 4-1 for Timothy Christian. This one's cleared well out of play behind the benches, and the Trojans will get the throw in. Their fans sensing the championship, heading back to Elmhurst as they're starting to chant from the seating bowl, and there are the Trojans fans in red and white. They've got the left side of the seating bowl, and the Wildcats fans in blue and white. They've got the right side of the seating bowl as you're looking on that camera shot. This one will go out of bounds with 30 seconds left to play. The Wildcats had a groundbreaking season from Anna-Jonesboro. They'll finish up 20 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie but they had one previous regional title, and this year they made it all the way to state here at the Corn Crib in Normal, and a whole lot to be proud of for Coach Boomer and his Wildcat program. But as the last seconds tick down, Coach Steven Fernandez, in his first season as a head coach last year, they finished second. This year, they climbed that mountain and finished first. The Trojans over to celebrate with their fans that made the trip down from the Chicago suburbs. A 4-1 victory today. They got the first goal. And then after it was tied at halftime, they got all 3 goals into the back of the net in the second half of play. The Elmhurst Timothy Christian Trojans winning their second ever soccer state title after they finished second last year. And they'll have another championship trophy to put in that trophy case, along with the one from 2009, a state championship for the Trojans from Elmhurst Timothy Christian, and a 4-1 win today over the Wildcats from Anna-Jonesboro. And Brian, that 6 to 7 minute stretch where they just took control of this game, it ended up being just a huge difference tonight.
Yeah, it almost sort of defined them, and that was sort of their identity, their ability to score in bunches, and they were able to do that again tonight. It almost kind of lulled into a false sense of security. It was Anna-Jonesboro when it was 1-1, nothing really happening at the onset of the second half, but then all of a sudden, bang, 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 they were able to get those 3 goals, take a 4-1 lead, very similar to how they won in the state semi to get into tonight's game. But you just got to give the Trojans all the credit in the world. It is just so difficult to, I feel, mentally in any sport, in any level, after you get to the final game, you don't come away with the victory the following year to put in that work over the winter, to spring back into the summer and bring that same tenacity and intensity that you brought in the previous year throughout the entire season. They were able to do just that, and this time walk away with that trophy.
Especially with the coaching change mixed in there as well. Steven Fernandez, his first year, he was playing college soccer at Wheaton last year in the 2014 as the national runner-ups, and joined the program over the summer in his first year, and they grabbed that state title. And as we mentioned quite a bit earlier, only a handful of seniors on this team. 2 of the goal scorers sophomores, another one a junior, the goalie Noah Morera, who was fantastic in that second half, denying the Wildcats late in the ball game. He's a junior as well. So anybody that wants to come down to state next year in 1A, they're going to have to contend with this Trojan program.
Yeah, again, it's just it's more of a you could see them building a program within. They switch coaches, which is obviously going to be big at any level in any sport as far as adjusting to that, and they were able to do it and pick up running where they left off last year, and that just shows the sign of a great program. And they're going to be obviously losing some key contributors, some great talent from this year's championship squad. They're going to have some great talent returning. I'm sure right now they're not thinking too much about next year's team. They're just enjoying the moment right now as state champs.
Obviously some disappointment in that Anna-Jonesboro huddle right now, but plenty to be proud of. I'm sure that's what Coach Boomer's talking to his team about. 20 wins this year, the first ever sectional championship, first ever trip to state as well, and they've got a second place trophy to take back home and to be extremely proud of. So a 4-1 victory on the championship for Timothy Christian as they get the win this evening and get that state championship and trophy ready to head back to Elmhurst. They got those 3 goals in succession in that second half of play. The first off the rebound for Jimmy Allen, and then a redirection goal off of a set piece, and then Michael Martins letting one fly from just outside the 18. He had the first assist, he had the last goal, and a 4-1 win today for Timothy Christian as they line up about ready to get their individual medals and the team trophy as well. Coach Fernandez, first of all, congratulations on the state title.
Thank you very much.
Your first year, obviously these guys went through this last year up into the state title game. What does it mean to the players that were here last year in your program to grab first place this year after falling short last season?
Oh, it means so much to the boys, especially the boys that were a big part of the team last year. It's just huge for them. This whole postseason, they've been so excited to make this run, and it feels so good to get it done.
I know last night you guys scored in bunches, and it happened again today, that 6-minute stretch. How can you put that into perspective? Does that kind of capture your entire season? You get one, then you get another, and all of a sudden you've got all the momentum.
Yeah, once we get that momentum, we really run with it. And I think Yeah, once one went in, we got some momentum and then really brought it.
And finally in that back line, Noah Marrera had a couple big saves there at the end. They've obviously got a powerful attack, but what were you guys able to do to kind of keep them off balance?
Well, they had a couple real strong players, and we wanted to make sure we were always goal side of them. And I think we did well at times, but at times they got free, and Noah made some huge saves for us.
Coach, go lift that trophy. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, Coach Fernandez of Elmhurst Timothy Christian, the state champions here in 1A, a 4-1 win today over Anna-Jonesboro. We'll be back with more from the Corn Crib in Normal on Comcast Sportsnet.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Timothy Christian Trojans from Elmhurst get a 4-1 state championship win over Anna-Jonesboro. The Wildcats from Anna-Jonesboro with their first ever soccer trophy. They claim second place. The captains up now to grab that trophy. There it is for the Wildcats, and they'll get that back down in the southern part of Illinois. And a fantastic season for the Wildcats, 20 victories and a second-place trophy. Had never been past the regional stage until this year, and that big second-place trophy to take back home. And on the other side for Timothy Christian, their state title from 2009's got company now in the trophy case in Elmhurst. They had second last year, and they do that one better this year with that state title. And a very young team, and as Coach Fernandez mentioned, Brian, a lot of the boys on this roster were part of that team last year that lost 2-0 to Columbia, and that's been their mission since day one, is to come back to normal and get that one better trophy.
Yeah, what elation. I said it earlier. It just takes so much mental capacity to after getting all the way to the top and not quite reaching your dream like they did a year ago, to come back with that same sort of work ethic and that same intensity and get back to this game and then finish off what they couldn't quite do last year. So just an incredible effort by both schools this season, and a much-deserved state title for the Trojans.
Over to celebrate with their fans, both teams saw quite a nice contingent make long drives from the Chicago suburbs for Elmhurst Timothy Christian, and 350 miles from Anna-Jonesboro between the two as they make the trip up. And a lot of those fans have braved the rain all day long and the cold weather, and now getting a chance to celebrate with both of their teams out there on the pitch with the 4-1 victory for Timothy Christian out of Elmhurst tonight to claim that soccer 1A state title. It's just one of three for us. Brian and I will be along next week from Hoffman Estates, as we'll have the 2A state title championship match, then the 3A state title championship match on the boys' side as well from Hoffman Estates. So we'll have those broadcasts for you as well. Looking forward to two more state champions being crowned here on Comcast Sportsnet. Big thanks to our entire crew from the Rush Media Company for getting all these great shots, sights, and sounds throughout the day. The coaches who joined us as well, Coach Boomer, Coach Fernandez, we appreciate them taking part in the broadcast. The Elmhurst Timothy Christian Trojans get the 4-1 win. For Brian Beto, I'm Nathan Buiva. Thanks for watching IHSA State Soccer Timothy Christian, the state champions on Comcast Sportsnet.